I just took some mileage with us. Got some bitch from Starless with us.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's been forever, it feels like, since I've recorded a video. I kind of took like a hiatus of like a week from just posting on social media, posting on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I kind of just wanted to take a break. I was in a rut and I just felt like I was like going through the motions. I wasn't too happy with some of the videos that I posted. I left them up because it's whatever, they're already up, people saw them. But I just felt kind of like so I took a little bit of a break, but I'm back and I'm excited. I ordered some new stuff, so I'm super excited to get back in the swing of things and get some new videos up for you guys. So today's video is going to be on this look right here. I was inspired by a couple clients that I worked on for Halloween. They wanted like, they were going to be like vampires and they wanted like a vampy dark kind of look but kind of glammed up. So when I did this look on them, I was like, oh my god, I am so obsessed. I don't even know how I did that. It looks so pretty and I wanted to recreate it for you guys because I was so obsessed with it, and for the fall it's like perfect. I picked up this new Juvia's Place Masquerade palette and I'm so obsessed with it. I honestly am a lot more surprised than I thought I was gonna be. This palette is freaking gorgeous. I watched Kathleen Lights' video on this palette and I am so obsessed with it, and I'm so happy that I ordered it. I usually don't play around with like colorful looks like these, but I figured since I'm a freelance makeup artist, I need some color in my kit. So I figured why not just start playing with colors myself on my channel. So I decided to order this palette and I'm so happy that I did. I'm so obsessed with it. It's so freaking pretty. Honestly, these like, what's it called? These pans that come in this palette are huge. I want to show you like an example. So here is the Morphe 35O shimmer palette, and this is Juvia's Place. You can tell how big these pans are compared to Morphe's. I got this in and I was like, this is awesome. I paid $32 for this palette, and it comes with 16 eyeshadows. I don't know, my math might be wrong. You guys can judge me for it. But it comes with 16 for $32, which isn't that bad. Obviously Morphe is cheaper, but look at the size of these pans. It's like ridiculous how huge it is. I honestly thought it was like a YouTube thing, like I'm just watching a video so it just looks a lot bigger in the video than what it is in person, and I was so wrong. These are huge, and I think it's so exciting that they're huge. They're gonna last you forever, and honestly the quality of these shadows are amazing. Like, let me just show you. So here's a purple. Like, do you see? I'm not like digging in it and rubbing it. Obviously I'm not getting paid for this, so why would I lie to you guys? But literally like so pigmented, it's not even funny. And they're so like, they're so buttery and creamy. Like, check out that color payoff. And I know it's just like your finger, so obviously your finger swatches better than a brush would, but the lip color that I have on my eyes today, I didn't wet it when I used it. I just used it straight from a brush into the pan and applied it to my eyes. I wanted to test out the products in this eyeshadow palette to see if I needed to use it wet or not. You totally could use it wet as always, but you don't have to. I personally didn't want to just because I wanted to test it out, and then on top of that, I was going in with a little bit of glitter on top, so I didn't want to wet my brush when I was applying it. Totally didn't wet the eyeshadow when I used it today, and I just love the way this look turned out. I'm so obsessed with this palette. I totally think the mattes are super blendable, super buildable. I personally feel like they should have added a matte vanilla shade if you wanted this to be like your everyday kind of palette, just so when you apply your primer you can set it, but it's whatever. You could always use like a foundation compact or translucent powder to set your primer. I also felt like it needed like a lighter shade of like a transition color. These two right here are probably their lightest shades, but I feel like they needed like a little bit of a lighter one. I totally still made it work. You just need to use a really light hand when going in. You don't really want to get a lot of product on your brush if you're going for a transition color. You kind of want a light hand and lightly dust it into the crease and then build up the colors as you work. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But other than that, I really recommend this palette. I'm so obsessed with it. The colors are beautiful and it really makes you get out of your comfort zone and play with colors. I played with this color today and this color today, and honestly you would think it would be a lot more intense on my eye than what it is, but it's so like Obviously it's not natural looking, but it's definitely like a dramatic but still like a glam look without being too colorful, if that makes any kind of sense. But I totally recommend this palette. Go check it out. I think their Nubian 2 palette is also gorgeous, and I definitely want to get my hands on that. Another product that I used today that was new was this KYLIE Cosmetics Exposed Nude Lipstick. I ended up not liking the way it looked with this look. It was a little bit too like orangey and peachy, so I topped it off using Dose of Color Stone. But I just want to talk about this for a minute. This is like the perfect freaking nude color for us medium skin girls. Like, I feel like all nudes are always like pinky and rosy and like a neutral kind of beige, and this right here is like I can't even explain it to you guys. It's like orangey and peachy undertone, but more towards like the orangey brown kind of nude, which looks so freaking pretty on us tan girls. So if any of you guys out there are like thinking about buying this, I would say go ahead and buy it. I didn't buy the lip kit. I just bought the single because I didn't feel like the lip liner was needed. Go check this out. Exposed by KYLIE is like thebomb.com. I haven't been able to put this lipstick down at all, and I love her formula. I know like a lot of people have a lot to say about her, but I honestly love her formula, and I love the way it smells. It smells like a vanilla cupcake. It smells so freaking good. That's basically all I have for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, hit that little button down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. Let me know what you'd want to see next. I have a surprise coming up for you guys soon, and I'm super excited about it. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Hello, it's been forever, and I have a new palette today for you guys, and I'm so excited to show you. I'm so obsessed with this Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. It is gorgeous. Just look at all those colors. So jumping in first, we're going to take this MAC Soft Ochre paint pot and go ahead and prime our eyelids. Once we're done priming it, we're going to go ahead and set it using any kind of translucent powder or vanilla shade, which is one thing I wish the palette had, but it didn't, so it's whatever. I'm using the shade from my Tartelette palette. So now going into this color right here called Zobu, which is kind of like a red-brown kind of color. Reminds me a lot of Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear. So I'm taking a Sigma E40, and I'm just going to really lightly dust this back and forth into the crease, picking up a small amount so I can build up the color. Since this palette doesn't have a really light transition color, you want to have a soft hand going in with your transitions. So I want to start off by going slowly and then building it up as we go. So you're just basically going to work a little bit harder, basically is what you're doing. So once I am done building that color up to where I want it, I'm going to jump back into the palette and take the color Burkina, which is like a neutral brown. And I'm going to be using the same Sigma E40 and basically doing the exact same thing that I was just doing, just with that other color, just to start building up some dimension into the crease. And you just really want to take your time building up these colors. So then going back into the palette, we're going to go in with this purple color that is called Zubu. I messed up the names earlier. We're going to go into this purple color right here with a Morphe R38 brush and start packing this on to our crease just a little bit lower than our first transition colors, and just start building up the color. So because this is a really vibrant and like hot kind of color, you definitely want to take a small amount and then begin to build up the intensity the same way we were doing with the first kind of colors. With colors like this, you never really want to go in so heavy-handed in the beginning, because if you mess up, you can never return from that error. So you always want to take your time in building up these colors so that you don't have any harsh lines and everything seems really blended out and very seamless. So here I'm going to begin to take the excess that is left over on the brush and just begin to pack it onto the outer lid, just to start bringing in a shape into this eye look and then just blending it out into the crease. Once we're done blending everything out, I'm going to go back into that Sigma E40 with no additional product on it and just go ahead and blend everything in together, just to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines and everything is really blended out before we continue. So then going back into the palette, I'm going to be taking this color right here called Bori with the same R38 brush and just begin to pack that onto the outer lid and then brush that into the lower crease. This is a super hot pink kind of color, and it does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's not so shimmery that you can't use it as a transition kind of color, which is what we're doing here. So I'm just going to be using circular motions to pack that onto the outer lid and then taking the excess and dusting it into the crease just to blend everything out, so once again we don't have any harsh lines. And again, you can't really see in the video, but I'm like barely touching my eyelid with the brush. I'm using a super light hand. I can't stress that enough when going in with these vibrant colors. You want everything to seem very seamless and really blown out and like an airbrushed effect, so you don't want to go in very harshly with the brush. You want to have a super light hand, like I've been saying the whole video. Now going in with this cool tone dark chocolate kind of color called MILANI with a Sigma E25, we're going to begin to pack this onto the outer V of our lid, blending it about halfway in. This is just starting to add some more dimension into the eye look and really deepen up the eye look. I'm basically just playing around and seeing like how deep I want the eye look to go. So I'm adding a little bit and then just looking and seeing if I want to deepen it up as I go. And then I just continue to pack on depending on how I feel about it. So once I've blended everything out as much as I can, I'm going to go back in with that R38 brush and just begin to blend everything in together just so everything seems very seamless. Then jumping back into that palette and taking the color Giza, which is so funny, it reminds me of that song. But I am going to take a small shader brush and just begin to pack that all over the lid. As you can tell, I didn't wet my brush today. I wanted to see how much it would show through without wetting it. And honestly, I was very surprised on how pigmented this color was without wetting my brush. It was very vibrant and very pigmented. I wasn't patchy at all. It was such a beautiful color. So once I finished packing on that color, it just wasn't enough for me. I wanted the look to have something else, so I went in with Urban Decay's glitter liner in Midnight Cowboy, and I just added this sporadically all over the lid, and I just love the pop of glitter. It just added such a different twist to the look, and it's such a pretty glitter liner. This is probably my favorite glitter liner that I have. It's such a gorgeous like champagne-y gold kind of color. It just added such a nice twist. I wish the lighting was better so that you guys could really see the effect that the glitter had on the look. So once I finished adding the glitter, I just went in one more time with that R38 and just blended everything out. And then I decided that the look wasn't as deep as I wanted it. And since the glitter added such a nice dramatic twist to it, I wanted the look to be a little bit deeper. So here I am taking the black from the Tartelette palette on a Morphe M169. And I'm just packing that onto the outer V just very lightly. And then I'm going to go in with that Sigma E25 and just really begin to blend out that black. With black, you want to be very careful. You like barely dip your brush into the black and just pack it on, because if you go too crazy, you literally will ruin the whole eye look. So here I'm taking the Sigma E25 and just taking my time blending it out and blending it inwards. I swear the black just completed the look for me. It made the look so much better and so much prettier and so much more dramatic, but not too crazy dramatic. So once I am done blending that out as much as I can with that brush, I'm going to go in with a Morphe M330, which is a tapered fluffy brush, and it's clean. And I'm just going to go in and just go ahead and buff everything together and making sure we don't have any harsh lines and that black is very blended out. And then taking that first shade that we used from the Tartelette palette, which is a matte creamy vanilla color, I'm going to take this Sigma E70 and just go ahead and highlight my brow bone with that. And I'm going to go ahead and add a wing using NYC's liquid liner, which pulled the whole look together. Now going in with falsies, I took Christina lashes in the style number 43, and they just weren't dramatic enough for me. So I had Christina lashes in the style Wisp that I had used for a while, so they were a little bit old, so I went ahead and cut them in half and used the ends and stacked those onto the ends of the 43s, and that literally just took these lashes to a whole nother level. If you guys are ever like the lashes aren't enough for you, or you have older lashes and you just want to throw them away, you could always cut those and reuse them. That's a little side tip for the day. So now continuing on with the tutorial, I went ahead and hydrated my face using Mario Badescu's facial spray, and then here I'm using Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I added in a couple drops of Sephora Collection highlighting luminizing drops in Morning Light. So now taking a mixture of Becca's Under Eye Brightener and Tarte's Tape Shape Concealer, I'm going to go in with the BECCA Under Eye Brightener first, and then blending it out with the Beauty Blender, and then I'm going to take this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Medium and just apply this to the lower part of my eye and go ahead and blend it upwards. I'm also going to apply this to my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and my chin. I love this combo. I haven't used it in a long time, but I love this. It's such a flawless finish. So once we've blended everything away, I'm going to go in with the oldie but a goodie, this Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm going to go ahead and set underneath my eyes and basically all over my face. So I've been using a Coty Airspun in the RCMA No Color Powder, and I don't know if this has happened to anybody else, but I feel like I sneeze non-stop. So I don't know if I'm allergic to something or if it just gets in my nose and tickles my nose, but this Laura Mercier powder definitely didn't do that to me. So let me know if you guys have had that problem too. So once I've dusted everything away, I'm going to go into this Kat Von D contour palette, and I'm going to use these two colors right here, which is a neutral cool tone color and a little bit of a orangey kind of color, but not too warm, with this Morphe M403, and I'm going to begin to kind of bronze up and contour my face. And I'm going to do the cheekbones, the forehead, underneath my jawline, my neck, yada yada yada. You guys see everybody in the YouTube world do this all the time, so we're just going to fast forward through this. So now going in with Milani's Luminoso and a Morphe E3 brush, I'm just going to dust this onto the apples of my cheeks. I love this blush. It's such a pretty, like corally, rosy kind of color, and you can find this at any drugstore. Now on to my baby, the Balm's Merry Luminizer. I'm going to use this to highlight my cheekbones, and I'm using a Morphe M510, and I just love this highlighter. It's such a bam in your face kind of highlighter, but such a pretty, like champagne-y white kind of color, and you can find this at Kohl's or online. So I'm doing the cheekbones, the cupid's bow, my nose, the bridge of my nose. I dust it a little bit on my forehead and a little bit on my chin. Then to sharpen up the contour, I'm going to take this gunmetal brush and just take some more of that Laura Mercier powder and just to sharpen it up a little bit more. Now to give myself a nose job, I'm going to take this Elite Collection fluffy brush, I forgot the number, and just go ahead with those same contour powders from that Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and just begin to carve out my nose and just contour it just a little bit. So because I want everything to sink into my skin, I'm going to go back in with that Mario Badescu water and just go ahead and spray my face a little bit more. So here I'm going in with the Rimmel Eye Kohl in black, and I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline just because I added some black onto the upper part of my lid. I want to keep that dramaticness on the bottom. So now going in with that first transition color that we used, Zulu, and this Morphe Rose Gold pencil brush. I always have problems with doing this underneath my eyes. It never fails. I'm going to go ahead and blend out that black with that brown rich brick kind of color. Now taking Zubu with a small definer brush, I'm going to start to line my lower lash line with this like purpley kind of color just to add some of that drama down there as well. Now going in with that pencil brush and just blending those two colors in together. Now going back into that palette, I'm going to take that hot pink color and I'm going to take a Sigma E25 and just buff all three of those colors in together just to add a little bit more of dimension underneath the eye to let it match the top of our eyes. And using that clean blending brush that we used earlier, just buff everything out so we don't have any harsh lines and everything seems very flawless underneath our eyes. Now we're going to go back in with Merry Luminizer and go ahead and highlight our inner corners with this and the top of our brow bones, just the top. Remember, I don't like to highlight my entire brow bone with this shimmer color because it makes it look a little bit dirty under there. That's just my personal preference. Then adding some L'Oreal Carbon Black Mascara and then moving on to lips. So here I'm going to go in with Milani Spiced Lip Liner and go ahead and coat our entire lips with that lip liner. Then once we're done applying that lip liner, I'm going to go in with Kylie Jenner's liquid lipstick in Exposed. I love this nude color. It's such a pretty peachy kind of orangey brown nude but it just didn't go with this look, and I was so disappointed because I really wanted to wear this lip, but it's whatever. I'll try again later. So I'm going to top it off going in with Dose of Color Stone, which is more of like a mauve-y kind of pink shade, which definitely went more with this look. And I love the end result of this lip combo, and honestly both of these are one of my favorite formulas, so hey, it's a win-win situation. So that completes this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.